This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we are saying thank you to therapists. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories and millions of journeys. Behind each one of them is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take that next step forward. Moments in therapy, like asking the right questions, having a safe place to get emotional or cry, or small wins, they can change lives. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp is honoring those connections and the therapists who make them possible while showing how easy it is to get guidance from a licensed therapist online with BetterHelp. I've been doing therapy for over 2 years and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's helped me so much with relationships with my friends, families, even myself. It's helped me understand myself better, and it's just made for such a better life. It really has. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for live sessions based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we are collaborating with those therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off of their first month at BetterHelp.com/PFF. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PFF. Panthers fans have waited long enough. They have waited long enough. Let's get straight to it. The Cowboys at the Panthers. The toughest home field environment in the NFL, they're saying, is in Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. 3-0 on the season for the Panthers now that they beat the Cowboys 30-27. Let's take a look at the top 5 graded players that we had for the Carolina Panthers in this one. Tight end Mitchell Evans at the very top of the list with an 89.7. Offensive guard Damian Lewis with an 88.8. Center Cade Mays an 83.6. Linebacker Trevin Wallace a 77.2. And then offensive tackle Yosh Nijman with a 73.5. Bryce Young in this game. Ice Young really under pressure.
Oh.
With his back against the wall. Down to the Cowboys. I think he was a perfect 10 for 10 when the Cowboys were leading this game. 82.1 overall grade in this one. Dallas' side of things, my boy Donovan Ezeraku, love to see him at the top of the list with a 92.1. Wide receiver George Pickens, a takeover game for the Cowboys offense. He earned a 91.1. Offensive guard TJ Bass, a 72.1. Offensive guard Tyler Smith, a 70.9, and then offensive tackle Terrence Steele, a 70.9. Quarterback Dak Prescott in this one, a loss for him, but an 81.1, a very solid PFF grade. What are we starting to talk about here with the Cowboys?
Fun fact, only 2 other teams in the NFL right now are at least 3-0 at home. Green Bay Packers, and of course the perfect season, the Indianapolis Colts. They're actually 4-0. You don't want to go into Indy right now either.
I feel like Indy's played like every game at home so far.
Yeah, four out of the 6. 4 out of the 6. It was a trip to L.A. and I forget what the other one was. Houston, did they go to Houston? Was that what it was?
What is their schedule? I know Panthers fans want us to get there. Hold on. They got to have a crazy road stretch coming up. Okay, they're at the Chargers versus Titans, at the Steelers versus the Falcons. Okay, and then we go at Kansas City versus Houston, at Jacksonville, at Seattle. That's kind of rough.
Sure.
But
they have Daniel Jones. They'll be fine.
All right. Anyways, talk to me about this game. Cowboys or Panthers? What do you want to start talking
I'll go on the Cowboys side because
I'll talk about the Panthers.
I think we are seeing more and more that, the Cowboys, look, Dak Prescott's playing MVP level football. We saw that again. George Pickens with a spectacular game here. But this is part of the problem is that the Cowboys don't have other ways to win football games. George Pickens had 168 yards in this game. The rest of the team total, not just receiving, had 124. So, it's hard when Javonte Williams, because in past weeks, Javonte Williams has run the ball well. He's had a really good year so far, struggled in this game. But the Cowboys being this one-dimensional was really the fear that to me held them back from winning ball games more often than maybe they think they should, because you're looking at a team that just, they have Dak, they have the receivers. And in a game like this, they have nothing else. And especially on the defensive side, they're averaging. This was an average game for them on defense, giving up 30 points. It's just a routine thing at this point. But no, 48 rushing grade, 58 run blocking grade, 39.9 team defense grade. Dak Prescott and this passing game is the reason the Cowboys can win games. The rest of it, especially the defense, is the reason they probably can't make the postseason. Because you just can't. You subject yourself to shootouts every week, and you end up with 30-27 losses. Maybe you end up with a 40-37 win like the Giants game. Maybe you end up with a 40-40 tie. I know that's your favorite game of the year against the Packers. But when you subject yourself to shootouts and you want to play Big 12 football like all those schools down there right near the Dallas Cowboys down there, this is what you get. You're going to get sometimes where you just put up a boatload of points and the other team can't keep up. You get the last play, and you're going to get games like this where Bryce Young and the Panthers answer, and you lose a high-scoring game. They're just not well-rounded enough, and that was a real problem in this one.
Yeah, and to the Panthers side of things, I think over the last 2 weeks, specifically this week against the Cowboys, they have done an excellent job of getting back to basics and sort of like winning where you need to win initially to be a successful football team, especially, well, anywhere really, but especially in the National Football League. When it came to their run game, it was once again an incredible day by Rico Dowdle. The output was unbelievable. 183 rushing yards on 30 carries, 200-plus rushing yards as a team in this one, 84.2 team run blocking grade. 4 of their 6 games this year, they have had a run blocking grade above 70, and they have the number 2 run blocking grade in the NFL this season behind only the Indianapolis Colts. That is getting back to basics. And after losing Robert Hunt and who's the other offensive lineman they lost? Austin Corbett?
Yes.
After losing both of those guys, you go, oh boy, kind of started, they were a little shaky out of the gate anyways on the offensive line. Man, Cade Mays, Damian Lewis, like those guys, Brady Christensen, like those guys have just stepped up in a big way. This is a legit run blocking team. And I know a lot of people were like, hey, you just read off those top 5s, Rico Dowdle wasn't in there. 2 reasons why. One, the fumble that he had where, I get it, it's not totally his fault, but unfortunately it is a fumble and it has to go against him, where Xavier Legette chucked the football to him. He picks it up and he has it, and then the ball gets punched out. So it's a weird play. I get it, but the fumble does have to be charged against him. So his overall grade goes down for that, as well as he kind of struggled in pass protection in this game. You go back and you specifically watch the pass protection reps. His pass blocking grade brings down his overall grade. However, he had a really good rushing grade. I think it was like an 82.6. He had the highest rushing grade of any running back in the NFL this year. So that's why, just for anybody that's like, how is Rico Dowdle not top 5? That's how we justify getting to that overall grade being a little bit lower. But the rushing grade was fantastic. And I'll tell you this too. You know, I think that Rico Dowdle, like last week, I'm watching Rico and I'm like, okay, really great output. This is way more on the offensive line than it necessarily is on Rico. And he wasn't forced to make a lot of guys miss. Yeah, he had some decent yards after contact because he's running really hard. This game was a little bit more of Rico Dowdle. Now, not to say the offensive line didn't play just as good. I mentioned the offensive line played great once again. But Rico is now getting a little bit more confidence. He's getting that juice. He was forcing some more missed tackles. When you go all the way back to, what was this, week 13 of last year. So it was the beginning of when he took over with the Dallas Cowboys as their starting running back. 84.6 rushing grade since week 13 of last year. 0.23 missed tackles forced per attempt. 2.4 yards after contact average. This dude's running hard. He's running confidently. He loved the fact that he was playing his former team in the Cowboys who let him go, and now he's in Carolina. So hats off to what Rico Dowdle is doing in the backfield, filling in for Chuba Hubbard. And it feels like, man, when they drafted Jonathan Brooks, I was really excited about Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard as their pairing at the 1-2. Jonathan Brooks re-tears his ACL again. Now he's got those 2 ACL injuries. I don't know what he's going to be like when he gets back. But if you could have Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard as a nice 1-2 combo, you feel pretty good about yourself moving forward. So shout out to the Panthers' run game as one part of the fundamental part where I feel like they're playing really well. The other part is in run defense. What do you got to do in the game of football right off the bat? You got to be able to run it. You got to be able to stop the run. That is what football is at its core. And I mentioned how good they are running the football, stopping the run. Javonte Williams in this game, 29 rushing yards on 13 carries. 82.3 run defense grade as a team was the Carolina Panthers. 1.88 average depth of tackle beyond the line of scrimmage. That was the best number in the NFL this past week. They also had 0, count them, 0 missed tackles in this game. Over the last 2 weeks, the Carolina Panthers have gotten back to basics. They've gotten back to fundamentals, and they have owned those two pillar points of playing the game of football. And that's why you win those games.
Yep. Much better play from their two linebackers, especially Christian Roseboom and Trevor Wallace. I really thought they were kind of the weakness of this defense for the first month of the season. Much better in this game. And I want to go back to the offensive side because, coaches say this all the time, and it so very rarely happens. Obviously, the offensive linemen, you mentioned it. They played great. Damian Lewis and those guys especially, they were outstanding up front. The second layer of this is that I have not seen a game like this year where the skill players, the tight ends, and the receivers blocked as well as the Panthers crew did this week. Okay, you saw Mitchell Evans up there as was he their highest graded player?
He was
correct?
their highest graded player this week. Yeah.
You want to know why he was their highest graded player?
Run blocking.
He had an 84.9 run blocking grade, 9 positive run blocks for a tight end. And it's not just him.
Awesome.
They were and I'm going to get on the defensive side of the Cowboys for a second, but Mitchell Evans was outstanding. Tommy Tremble, the other tight end, was outstanding. The wide receiver, Bryson Tremaine, he's not a tight end, but he kind of acts like it. He's 6'4" and 210, and they insert him into a lot of these concepts. He was outstanding. Tetero McMillan had a couple of positive run blocks. Let me put it like this. The Panthers' skill players, this is a crazy number to me. Their skill players, we got them with 19 positive run blocks. They're skill players.
That's nuts.
16 different plays, all right? Let me tell you something. 16 different plays that a skill player had a positive run block for the Panthers. Most in any game this season. Second is the Bills in Week 2 against the Jets with all their tight ends at 15. Third after that is 9. So you have those two games that stand above the rest. This was, and I mean this, I could feel it when I was watching. I was like, man, Mitchell Evans is mauling people. Tommy Tremble's mauling people. Bryson Tremaine, he doesn't catch anything, but he's getting there and mauling people in the box along with the offensive line. They're cracking down. They're blocking off the edge. They're doing all these things. And I'm like, I have to look at how many positive blocks are in here. And it happens to be, basically, this was the best game that we've seen all year, blocked in the run game by a group of skill players, tight ends and receivers. It was crazy to watch them get in multiple tight end sets and have Tremaine inserting as well, and over and over and over, just pound this Cowboy team downhill. And then on the other side, most disappointing, Matt Eberflus just won't make adjustments. This is just his defense, the same as it was with the Bears, and he's just going to run it. You got to about strangle this guy to put a fifth defensive lineman out there. The Panthers are lining up constantly with 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, and it's just same old front 4, wide them out a little bit for whatever reason, and they're already not a great run-defending team, and there's just no adjustment. Like I mentioned earlier with the Broncos and the Jets. Yeah, they're putting 5 D linemen out there in a neutral situation. Do something. Seriously, you're just going to let the front 4 just get mauled all day like this?
It's
up front. It's 7 on 4 up front.
Yeah.
And he's just leaving it like that.
Yeah.
That amazes me.
Get after him.
Apparently so. I mean, you talk about, we like to have one guy who can take on doubles. You're asking all 4 of them to do it. And there's just no, it's, yes.
Compete.
Honestly, yes, the Cowboys players are not very good on defense. We know this. But it shouldn't look like, you got to play the numbers game. And you're asking Kenneth Murray to go, you got people screaming down onto the second level because you're 7 on 4 on front. Everybody's getting free releases. Mm-hmm. Matt Eberflus just refuses to do anything to help his players with the adjustments. And it's just, it's the same thing we had with the Bears last year. I don't get it. Your team's getting mauled. Even in the last 5 minutes of a game with the Panthers, when this game, when it was tied, they're still sitting there lining up with 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, and running the football on you. What? I don't even know. I don't know at this point because it's like the hat on hat game is so easy with the Cowboys. Just put more guys in there because they're not going to match it.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
They're just lining up a wall against you and just pushing you to the side.
It'll be something to monitor, with the Cowboys moving forward if Eberflus changes at all after this. And I know you just went on a rant that he hasn't, but this is, you're getting to the point where you're an active reason why the team is losing. And so we'll see. It'll be interesting to monitor if the Cowboys have any intention at all whatsoever at putting more defensive linemen on the field because they really struggled. Donovan Wilson struggled. He was my most disappointing. Gave up those 2 touchdowns to Tetero McMillan. He was kind of tough in this game. Bryce Young, I'll shout him out. Yeah, 10 for 10. 125 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, a perfect 158.3 passer rating when trailing in this game versus the Cowboys. So you love to see that from Bryce. I do still think he's a little bit neurotic when he's in the pocket still. I get a little bit nervous with him at times, but he is still somebody who, it may not look pretty. He kind of may look scared at times in the pocket, but when he sees the open receiver, he can often get it out of his hands and get it to where he needs to go. And this game was a testament to being able to do that once again. So I wanted to make sure that I shouted him out there because it wasn't the perfect game from Bryce, but it's when you complement what Bryce is able to do sort of as an under pressure type of a quarterback combined with how well, of course, they run the football in this game, you feel good about your chances. And, of course, they scored 30 because of it.
And on the Panthers in general, because I know we got a ton of their fans watching right now, think about what we were saying 2 weeks ago where we were like, oh, boy, this team's 1-3. They're coming off a whooping to New England. Mm-hmm. And we go, they got 3 games, Dolphins, Cowboys, Jets, to figure this out. I believe they're playing the Jets this week. They got 3 games to figure this thing out, or we might be talking about some not great things.
Right.
All of a sudden, they've won the first 2 of those games, and they got a Jet one as the third one. We could be talking about the Panthers a week from now at 4-3 and going, hey, they found balance. The defense at least looks a little bit better. I like Bryce as the complementary piece right now in this offense, the way it's running. Actually, the weird part is somebody sent me the line last night. The Jets are favored over the Carolina at the moment. I have no idea why.
That can't be
maybe last night they opened. It flipped now. I'm sure it did. I'm sure everybody put money on the Panthers. Last night, the Jets opened as a 1-point favorite, and I have no idea why because a look at the way the 2 teams are playing. But
as a 1-point favorite, no way.
I think it was my brother sent me that. He was like, the Jets are a 1-point favorite right now, and I could not understand it less. But no, this Carolina team, you go into New York and you win against the Jets next week, you're 4-3. We talk about them a lot different than we did a couple weeks ago.
The Jets were indeed favored by 1.5 when the books open.
Okay.
That's nuts. And now the Panthers are – now it's not like that big of a swing. The Jets were favored by 1.5 when the books open. Now the Panthers are favored by 1.5. So it's just a little bit of a swing there, but still Carolina is very clearly the better team at the moment. So shout out to Carolina, really turning it around. Playing some good football right now. Excited to see what they do against the Jets to maybe make it 3 in a row, like you said.